Hello trainers, just want to give you a quick overview of how to manage the course data files so that when the student is done with a class, from now on they're going to receive an email with a link to all the class files. So we need to make sure that our class files are up to date in our course data. So let's do a quick overview of how to do that. So for instance, it's okay to change, add, or delete files inside of an existing course data class. For instance, let's say under Excel, in the Excel for Business, we have a folder called 1-NYIM Excel 2007-2013 for business class files. We could add a new file in here, add a new folder in here, delete something, make a change to one of the other documents. All of that's fine. All we need to do though is back in this folder we need to delete the zip file and then just right click and compress this and you're all done. Now when the student gets an email after this class, which will be an automated email, there will be a link to the class files, which is basically ported to the Dropbox to this particular file. So it's important not to rename this folder, and it's also important not to rename the zip file. So we just need to right click and compress after making any changes. Now many of you guys do not have your files on the course data, which made it impossible for me to allow the students to access it after class. So for instance, what we need to do is go in, let's say QuickBooks for instance, I could not find any class files. If we're teaching a QuickBooks 2014 class, we would create a folder called 1-QuickBooks 2014 class files. Now and put our documents inside of here, all of our class files in there. If most of our class files are going to be the same from version to version, so for instance in this QuickBooks class, it's going to be the same files, class files for 2014, 2015, etc. Then I'd rather you name it QuickBooks class files and drop the versioning, unless they're going to be very different from version to version. Once we put our files in here, we just right click and compress. Now I need to know that this is done. So just drop me an email, for instance, if you put in all the QuickBooks files, say, hey Joe, files are in there, and I'll take care of the rest to automate that process for you guys. So again, nothing too complex, but for instance, I was a little confused on, for instance, the fashion class. There's multiple fashion classes, but there's a lot of folders in here. I wasn't sure which ones are used for what. So just make sure you're labeling them clearly. So for instance, this is the correct CAD class, then label it 1 CAD class files and put everything in there and zip it up and drop me an email. Alright guys, thank you very much and have a great day.